It's time to level up your money game.
Let's go! Okay, I love the energy. I love the energy! Oh, yeah! All right, let's go. Ooh, this feel like game day. All right, y'all ready to learn? Yeah! Let's talk money then. Would you believe me if I told you that your mama's favorite TV personality committed tax evasion? That the queen of do-it-yourself projects and craft ideas crafted her way out of paying taxes? Welcome to No Money. I'm Brandon Copeland, AKA Professor Cope, and class is now in session. Let's go. Let's go. Listen, we all know Martha Stewart, right? Your mom knows her for holiday flower arrangements, but you may know her for being best buds with Snoop D-O-double-G, who doesn't arrange flowers, he just smokes them. In 1999, when her company, Martha Stewart Omnimedia, went public, Martha Stewart became America's first self-made female billionaire. Yes, shout out to that. Shout out to that. That's what I'm talking about. Martha, let me borrow $5, Martha. You know, just $5. But despite all of the success, money, and popularity, Martha still got in trouble with the IRS for not paying her damn taxes. She had it. Why you just pay the bill? Eventually, Martha went to prison for an insider trading scandal. But before that, she was charged with tax evasion for failing to pay property taxes on her mansion in the Hamptons. Now, this was a side house, so, you know. Martha claimed she didn't have to pay taxes on that property because she barely lived in the crib. Come on now, Martha, you know better. I tried that excuse too now. But the IRS found the smoking gun, a cable TV subscription. Damn, that's what I'm saying, cable? They used this as proof and forced her to pay back $220,000 in back taxes, plus penalties. If you thought you hated paying for cable, imagine how Martha feels right now. It cost her $200,000. She just had to have that Animal Planet, that Disney Channel, like you could have skipped that, you know? At the end of the day, Martha actually got off easy. Penalties for tax evasion vary from state to state, but they can include some serious fines and sometimes even jail time. So, what's the lesson here? It doesn't matter how famous you are, or how big your media empire is, or if you can afford the best lawyers in the world. If you don't pay your taxes, Uncle Sam is coming for that ass. Everybody in this room knows what taxes are. When you hear the word tax, you just can't help but just cringe. Shake that off, you know what I'm saying? We've all been there. You've been busting your ass for 2 weeks. You've been working hard. You finally get that paycheck. You got plans. Oh, I'm going shopping, holidays. And then you see that final figure at the bottom and you feel like, buddy, right here.
What you need this?
You really don't.
His face. Because he was expected to wait.
Why your face like that, JoJo?
It's probably the taxes. It's probably taxes.
Would you expect it more?
Because you're 18.
JoJo, would you expect it more?
How much you get? I got the same amount.
JoJo, where you going?
How much did y'all get? Oh yeah, they took out taxes, Joe. Welcome to the world.
What? Joe.
Yeah.
Where you going, man?
It's a part of life.
Ooh, you mad? Oh.
We all been there before. Hey, unfortunately, we gotta say welcome to the real world, kid. It sucks. A tax is defined as a compulsory contribution to state revenue levied by the government on workers' income and business profits, or added to the cost of some goods, services, and transactions. Really scientific, right? Sounds really, really good. In other words, when you make money, the government wants you to pay up. But let's take a closer look into taxes. Why do we have to pay them? Whose bright idea was this? Who do we have to blame for giving up over half of our paycheck at times? Turns out, I got beef with the ancient Egyptians. Yeah, ancient Egypt. The first record of taxes came from 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt. The pharaoh decided to collect a tax equivalent of 20% of all grain harvests. At the time, Egypt didn't have any coin money, so the grain represented a tangible store of value that could easily be collected, traded, and redistributed throughout society. The literal first definition of giving the government your bread. Fast forward,
to ancient Rome. You may think that Julius Caesar was only famous for inventing the Caesar salad, but he also invented the first sales tax, a simple 1% flat tax rate that was applied across the whole empire. Now, can anybody tell me how Caesar died again? His homies didn't like that tax. They whooped his ass. Now, we saw how Brutus, that was supposed to be the best friend, he done turned on him. Then all the other homies jumped in like, you know what, I'm gonna get my money back too, But Caesar's son ended up taking over, Augustus. Caesar didn't get a chance to tell him, hey, chill on these taxes. So Augustus said, let me bump the sales tax up to 4%. Word on the street, Augustus' wife decided to poison his ass too. Income tax first popped up in the United States during the Civil War. War is expensive. So in 1861, Abraham Lincoln created a flat tax rate of just 3% on all income over $800, which today is about $18,000. And we all know what happened to Abraham Lincoln. He got the money, but he paid for it too. So, moral of the story, if you're going to tax, you better watch your back. I'm really putting it out there. You better watch your damn back. Y'all keep raising these damn taxes, I'm just telling you. People hate paying taxes, but they do love getting a tax refund. A tax refund can feel like the government is just giving you free bread. But did you know that that's really money you just overpaid in taxes the year before? We sent no money correspondent Austin Hankwitz out to the hardcore streets of Nashville to investigate how people really feel about getting their tax refunds. Let's take a look.
Taxes. Raise your hand if you received a tax refund last year. Did you get a tax refund last year?
Yes.
Vanessa said, okay, hold on now. You're getting a little too personal.
Wait, what kind of TikTok is it?
How much did you get in a tax refund last year?
Like $980, I think.
Okay.
$850. Mine was like $1120, I think.
$800?
Okay.
800.
Did you get a tax refund last year?
No, not really. We kind of break even.
Good for you. Good for you. I heard a lot about tonight people getting $1,000, $2,000 tax refunds, and I'm like, that's not a good thing. Maybe a little way to boost the budget is to say, I don't want to take so much out of my paycheck for taxes. Could be a good idea. Could be.
But I'm a guppy, so I just do what I gotta do. I make my money and then I get out.
Like you try to prove that the government is because
That's true.
I feel like that's what we're doing here. They are.
That boy said, and I'm a guppy. I just do what I gotta do. Bada bing, bada bang. I just make my money and nobody asks any questions. When you get paid, the first thing you should do is inspect your pay stub. You gotta take out a magnifying glass and you gotta go Sherlock Holmes on this thing. A lot of people don't know this, but 54% of Americans have found a payment discrepancy in their paycheck. And keep it between us, but I would know. I personally have found mistakes on my pay stub not once, but twice while playing in the NFL. And this is the National Football League we're talking about, people. If the NFL can't process payroll correctly, it's likely it can happen to all of us. Meet my boy Dan. Daniel is a software engineer in California earning $100,000 this year. But we gotta take a closer look at Dan's pay stub to show you what to look for because sometimes this can get confusing. Your paycheck will have two main sections, your earnings, which we like, and your deductions, which nobody invited them to the damn party. I don't know how the hell they got here. Depending on where you live, you'll typically see two main deductions, your federal and state tax. Federal income tax is the tax imposed by the IRS on everyone in the country. No matter where you live, you're gonna have to pay Uncle Sam. People in Alaska don't have much in common with people in Hawaii, but they both have to pay federal income taxes. How much money you earn determines the federal tax bracket you fall into. In the US, we have 7 tax brackets. Federal taxes work like filling up buckets. If you're in the top tax bracket, you're not gonna pay 37% on all your income. You'll pay 10% on your first, $10,275 earned, 12% on the next bucket, and so on and so forth. Now, once we paid the federal government, now the state says, I want a piece too. It's time to pay state income taxes. State taxes vary state to state. Some states don't have a state income tax, like Florida. They might not have a state income tax, but they do have these.
Mary Wishhausen says she first heard a loud crash around 3:30 this morning. Imagine seeing this before your first cup of coffee. She turned right around, closed the bedroom door, and called 911.
I'm sorry, is it in your house?
Yes.
Okay, you said it's
huge.
It's in your kitchen?
Yes.
What I did was I went on the computer and played games to settle down.
What? I mean, I guess we all deal with stress differently, but video games to settle down with an alligator in the... That's Florida for you, though. In Florida, we do some different shit down in Florida. I'm gonna keep it real. Most states have progressive systems, like the federal tax, which means you pay more the more you earn. Other states have a flat tax rate, which means everyone pays the same percentage of their income regardless of how much money they make. And on top of our federal and state income taxes, we also have to deal with FICA. FICA is the US law that creates a payroll tax which funds Social Security and Medicare. So you're helping out grandma, nana, Gigi, grandpa, Mima, Mimi, whatever the hell you want to call them, you helping them out with this one. As we all know, every year we have to file our taxes. You have between January and tax day, which usually falls on April 15th to file your taxes. If it's coming down to the wire, please don't panic. You have some options. You can file an extension, but, big but here, make sure you file before that deadline. Otherwise, you might be subject to late fees and interest payments on your return. That's like you trying to take an exit to avoid traffic, but getting stuck in even more traffic, and then trying to take the shortcut and then getting into an accident and having to pay more, which I know I've done before. So we want to make sure that we understand that filing can be complicated, but you need to make sure that you file on time. You can file by yourself, or you can work with a professional. I prefer to work with a pro because, well, they know way more than me. Think about it like flying an airplane. Would you fly the plane yourself if it saved you a few $100? Hey, Spirit, don't get any bright ideas. Man. Hey, man, you a Spirit? What you writing? Hey, somebody get his ass. Damn, y'all already charging for my chapstick. I can't fly the plane too, man. Speaking of fees, I like to think of the fees from working with a tax professional as an investment. Keep in mind, taxes are your biggest bill. I want to emphasize that. Taxes are your biggest bill. A lot of us, we try to cut cable, we try to cut costs with spending and eating out, but your biggest bill are your taxes. So, if I have to pay a few $100 in order to file correctly and potentially increase my overall net pay by a few $1,000, then I will take that investment every single time. Today on No Money, we have the honor of introducing a man that needs no introduction. He's an NBA champion, a 14-year NBA vet, a co-host of the highly successful All the Smoke podcast. Please give it up for Steven Jackson, AKA Stat. Just kind of go into what taxes are like for an athlete, because a lot of people don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and I'm always a straight shooter. When I retired from basketball in 14, I had fired my financial advisors a couple years before that because another football player, I won't say his name, was suing them. So, for stealing money. I couldn't prove that they were doing anything bad on my side, but I had a feeling. That's why I ended the relationship.
Gotcha.
And that football player ended up suing them and winning money. So they were doing something wrong. I'm saying that to say, 2 years after I fired them, they were paying my taxes at the time. So 2 years after I stopped playing, I got behind on taxes because I wasn't paying them, they were paying them, so I wasn't really focusing it.
Right.
So not knowing what's going on, how much you making, and all that can put you in a position where you behind on taxes. And it put me in that position because I had money, but I wasn't paying taxes because I was so used to somebody else doing it for me. So once I fired them and retired, I totally forgot about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know I'm making money and I'm getting letters, but I'm not even thinking about it because I've had somebody handicapping me my whole career doing everything. So now that I don't need them and I really don't trust them, I still got to pay my taxes.
Right.
So me personally, I had got behind 2 years after I retired because I wasn't in that mind frame. I wasn't used to it. Yeah, I knew I had to pay them, but I wasn't in that mind frame to take care of it. You can slip with that easy.
Yeah.
Real easy, because they're not gonna blow your phone up.
Right. They gonna let that bill.
They're not gonna send crazy letters to your house. They're not gonna knock on your door. They're not gonna send somebody and send you a warning, no voice, then nothing. You're just gonna get that knock at the door, and it's gonna be a whole bunch of people outside. We need to get ours. But it's easy to avoid that though. Right, yeah, you owe that man, pay that man. You can't get away from it. But like what we talking about, it's easy ways to get around it. What people don't understand is, the people that get in trouble for tax evasion, they run. If you can give these people $5 a month, long as you paying, they gonna work with you.
Right.
But if you think you can run from these people, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No one's invincible. You cannot run from these people. And the best way and the best thing to be on top of that is, instead of you worrying about it, just let it come out your checks. That's the best way, and that's what I learned.
Yeah.
Because it takes a little pressure out of me now. I know you still gotta fill out your 401ks and send all your stuff in. That's minimal. You can get somebody to do that. But as far as you knowing what's going on, how much money you making, how much is coming out your check, what taxes you have to pay, you need to know all these things, even if you're not doing it. Because if you know these things, you understand what's going on, they won't fall to the wayside.
Right.
It won't be something that goes in one ear and out the other.
Another dope conversation in the books. But here at No Money, we like to have some fun too.
That's cool. Of course, we should.
We got to. So, we're gonna play a little game. I like to call it IRS on your ASS. All right? You see how we did the you put there we go. You put the letters together. So, which one of these NFL running backs ran from the IRS? Now, these are greats, so they can run pretty fast. They got jukes, they got all that stuff. But which one of them ran from the IRS? You got Eric Dickerson, Bo Jackson, or O.J. the Juice Man Simpson?
Well,
O.J. Simpson.
Eric Dickerson is just a Hall of Fame, just a stud. I don't think he'll ever have tax problems. Bo is just Bo. There'll be another Bo Jackson. O.J. staying some shit.
Ooh.
I'm saying O.J. Simpson.
Hey, I ain't saying shit, O.J. I ain't saying nothing about O.J. Because he allegedly he did a little bit more than but listen, you right about that.
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson, there we go.
He just looked guilty.
He just looked guilty.
Yeah, O.J. just looked guilty. How you walk, he just looked guilty.
All right, next up. So 1 for 1 right now. Now we got old Hollywood icons.
This is gonna be hard.
Old Hollywood icons, all right? You got Marilyn Monroe, Judy Garland, or Shirley Temple.
All right.
Don't you say shit about Shirley, because that cherry in the drink.
I know Shirley, and I know Marilyn with her beautiful self.
Okay, say no more.
The only Judy I know is my mama. So Judy Garland, I'm just gonna say it's Judy Garland.
Judy Garland, okay. Now, I know you know Judge Judy. Judge Judy
I know
doing
Judge
that.
Judy. I know Judge Judy.
Is that Judge Judy? Okay,
yeah.
It might actually be Judge Judy Garland. All right. What y'all think? You think he's right with Judge Judy? Damn. He's right. Judge Judy. God damn, Judy. She getting everybody else in trouble. What the hell? Next, we're gonna talk about those folks at the Jersey Shore. All right. Mike, The Situation, Snooki, or DJ Pauly D.
Snooki was hot. I think Snooki, kind of did her thing. I seen Pauly D. He's still popping in Vegas. The Situation, I seen him on TV, and he didn't look like.
Ooh, he looked kind of.
He just looked like he'd been going through something.
Okay. He's stressing.
He just looked like he was going through something at the time when I seen him. So I'm going with Mike, The Situation. He's a little extra time on the show too.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm going with The Situation.
Look.
Because Mike's in The Situation.
Hey,
so
listen.
The Situation.
Hey, he's right again. God damn. Paying taxes can be demoralizing. We all work hard for our money, and then to have to turn around and give almost half of it to the government just feels so wrong. It sucks. I won't deny that. But you have to think about what those taxes are going towards. Think about your taxes as an investment in your community. When you see a new bridge being built in your hometown, that's your tax dollars at work. When you send your kids off to school on a school bus that takes them to their public school, again, that's your tax dollars at work. When there's a fire in your neighborhood and firefighters come by and put the fire out, that's your tax dollars at work. From the roads we drive on, to the sidewalks we walk on, to the parks we take our children to. None of that could be possible without taxes. So, although it may hurt a bit, or even a lot, when you pay taxes, you're chipping in for the greater good of society. I'm Brandon Copeland, AKA Professor Cope, and now you know taxes.